the authority to where the information is. You mean the software engineer can decide whether we ship the software? Yeah. You mean the client, my salesman can close the deal? Well, up to $1,000. No. Yes. Whatever the price? Yes. What does it take to make that happen? Now, if you're picturing a lot of people out there doing crazy things and a bunch of arrows going in a bunch of different directions, you have the wrong picture. You create the environment so that those people are out there making decisions as if the CEO were standing right behind them. And if it's not the same decision, it's actually a better decision because they have the information. And not only will you get better speed of execution because now you don't have this delay, what happens is those people feel like they matter because they're thinking. You engender thinking. You create the environment for thinking. That's a gazelle. An example, Fukushima. Tidal wave hits. When you shut down a reactor, it doesn't totally shut down. When you turn a burner off on your stove, it's still hot, but there's no more energy going to it. When you shut down a reactor, it still generates power. Initially, it generates 7% of the original power. Within an hour, it's 1%. How much power is that? In the case of Fukushima, it's enough power to heat 20,000 pounds of water 1,000 degrees every hour. And because all the electricity was dropped, the pumps that circulate the water all stopped. So the water's just sitting there, heating up. Now, TEPCO, the utility that ran and owned Fukushima, had a policy document. And the policy document said to vent the reactor containment buildings requires the CEO's permission. Why? Because it's a big deal. Because venting a reactor containment building releases gaseous fission products to the environment. But in this case, all the cell phones were down. All the fax lines were down. All the messengers were down. And all the carrier pigeons were down. So the guys sitting at the site manager is watching the temperatures and the pressures go up. They know what's happening because they know that that reactor is it's shut down, but it's still generating heat. And they watched it until it exploded because they didn't have the authority, right? The authority was out here. The information was here. The authority, right? You got it? They didn't push the authority. They hadn't pushed it. So here's what a guy says to me. Oh, yeah, well, my people would never do that. Oh, yeah? My people, in an emergency like that, they would just stand up and take action. Okay, so let me get this right, CEO. During the normal times, low risk, relatively slow, time to make decisions, you're in control and everyone has to come to you for permission. We're exercising that muscle really good. But then when it's really in abnormal times and extraordinary times, when it's high risk, things that are not planned for are happening, all of a sudden, I'm going to take this feeble, I'm going to take initiative action muscle, and I'm going to start thinking. It doesn't work like that. That makes no sense.